Okay, so we are now recording. I'm here with my grandfather, Paul Ney. I am Ian.
That's who I am.
Great. So this assignment's pretty brief, but basically I just want to know, in your opinion, 5 pros and 5 cons to growing elderly.
5 pros and 5 cons to what?
To growing elderly.
To being elderly. Just
Yeah.
a moment. Let me get elderly here. All right. What do you want? What is it you want to know? Okay. 5 pros and 5 cons to being elderly. Oh, you want me to name them?
Yep. Name, description, anything you like.
5 pros and 5 cons. Well, let's see. I don't have a great many cons, actually, because I'm not, physiologically, I'm not very elderly. But pros. Well, I get more social respect from people. I'm occasionally even called sir by strangers.
Okay.
And of course, what are the various, there must be some discounts I get. Now, what are they? Right now with the quarantine going on, it's rather hard to remember.
Sure.
Whatever discounts people gave to elderly people before the pandemic would still apply to me. That's a pro, I guess. Even though at the moment I'm not thinking of any. Maybe I'm losing some memory. That would be a con. No, I don't think I'm losing very much. Other pros. Right now I'm blanking. Other cons. Well, there's of course, some aspects of elderly physiology that I would rather I didn't have.
Such as just health issues or?
Health, but well, let's see. I have a lady friend in San Diego named Marie. Do I need to go any further with that one?
Nah, okay.
Let's see. What else? Cons to being elderly. Well, one pro of being elderly, of course, is being retired. I don't have to work for a living. I don't work for a living. A con connected to that is that time is rather heavy on my hands.
What do you mean by that? You mean you have too much of it? You mean you have too much of it right now, or?
Yeah, too much spare time. I don't have a pro. Do I pay less for car insurance? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I get a larger standard deduction on my income tax, except I don't use it. So trying to think of other cons to being elderly. Well, I don't have the endurance I used to have. as you remember from the London trip.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Con. I've lost a fair amount of hair in terms of there's cons as far as personal appearance goes.
Uh-huh. I'll put that on. I have one for physiological changes, so I'll include
Okay.
the
I doubt,
hair
I
loss.
doubt if any of the students, if I were teaching psychology anymore, I doubt if any of the students, they were usually female, would say, "Oh, Mr. Ney, you look like Sean Connery." I don't- yes, they did say that.
Oh yeah.
It did not affect their grades. Uh,
That's funny.
let's see.
So to recap so far for the pros, I have there's a social respect aspect, like getting called sir, various discounts, and I guess you could call them senior privileges.
Mhm.
3, being retired and not having to work, and then that's the 3 I have so far for pros. Cons, I have mild memory loss.
I
Uh,
don't think I was kidding about that. I don't think I really have memory loss.
okay, then I'll cross that one off. And the ones I do have are physiological changes such as hair loss, appearance, etc. Um, there's a lot of spare time, and endurance decreases.
Oh, another one for con is mild hearing loss.
Hearing loss. Okay.
I I wear hearing aids because I have a high frequency hearing loss,
Right.
and pros. Uh, have you asked this of other people or just me?
No, just you so far.
Hmm. I would be interested. I would be interested to know what other people in my age group would give us pros. Uh,
Hmm.
well, okay. I suppose one would be that I accept, or at least acknowledge, more of my life. That I accept. Yes, this is a life I've lived. There could be that could have both pros and cons. I accept more, but also perhaps regret more.
Uh huh.
The
I guess you could say the ability to reflect on your experiences
yeah
or something like that.
yeah, and of course, being retired, I have more time to do it.
Right. Right.
Uh, is that 4 pros so far?
Yep. That's 4 pros.
5. Well, one pro might be that it occurs to me is that I eat less.
Eat less.
Less, yes.
Okay.
Back in Porterville, the number of restaurants had secondary senior menus where they gave you half as much. Your per servings were half as big, and they said your your bill was a third down.
Oh, okay. So
You paid
money,
you paid a third less for half as much food. At least it seemed that way.
so there's a money saving aspect to it, I
Like
guess.
but that is not true in Santa Barbara. I haven't been in Santa Barbara, so that you can leave that off the list.
Okay.
Well, that does mean sometimes that I will get a meal at a local restaurant here and bring home half of it, and
Mhm.
so that is perhaps an advantage. Of course, that I suppose I suppose even if I was 40, I could probably ask for that, get it, so I don't know that it automatically goes along with being elderly. It's just a matter of personal choice. The phooey. I can't come up with anything else.
Okay. What about socially, like social aspects of it could be a pro or a con, maybe rekindling with old friends or or-
Well, a lot of that is so affected by the pandemic that it becomes difficult. I would say that, however, before the pandemic, there were friends that I met with on Friday mornings for coffee over at one of the boutique type grocery stores here,
uh-huh.
and we're meeting by Zoom now on Fridays. But they were people, of about my age, and I had no problem with that. Okay, I'll tell you the con to be elderly. You lose people.
Okay.
People die.
Yeah.
Like Joanne, like your father.
Yeah.
But and one of my friends in the Friday morning group, retired philosophy teacher, just died a a couple of weeks back. Just died of prostate cancer. Slightly younger than me.
Oh, I'm
So
very sorry to hear that.
yeah. So as you get as you get older, you you outlive more people, which is not necessarily a pro.
Right.
Yeah. The That's five cons, isn't it, or is it?
Well, I included the hearing loss in with the physiological changes.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it doesn't, we can, I don't want to, make you stretch to find another one, but
Well, tell you what, if I think of any more, I'll email them to you. All right.
sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Good.
So just to recap on the pros, we have social respect, have various discounts and privileges, being retired, not having to work, so you have more time to do things. And then four, you have the ability to reflect on your life experiences and acknowledge the life that you've lived.
Yes, I would say acknowledge is probably the best word.
Acknowledge, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And that's four. Well, I think again, prior to the pandemic, prior to the quarantine of the pandemic, did you have in the? I think you had in there are senior citizen discounts, didn't you?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay, you have that. Uh,
And then for the cons, physiological changes, too much spare time, endurance and like cardiovascular decreases, and then losing people close to you.
uh, Of course, losing people close to you can happen at any age, as we both know. But they pile up. The more of it happens as you get older.
Right. Right.
The let's leave it at that. And if I think of anything else, I'll email it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here.
Okay.